Lesson 68 is more on complex fractions. So remember that a complex fraction is A over B over C over D. So it's a fraction of fractions. And what we do is we simplify the two on the outside, put them on the top, and the two on the inside, and we put them on the bottom. But if you look at this example, 68.1, notice that we don't have a fraction over a fraction. We have an addition of fractions over a subtraction of fractions. So we have to simplify both the top and the bottom first before we're able to divide. So in these two, we have y as the common denominator, so we can add the top and keep the denominator. Now that we simplified, then we have a fraction of fractions, and we can actually multiply these two. So it would be y times x plus 1, and then for the bottom is y times x minus 1. Notice that we have y both on the top and the bottom, so we can cancel, and this would be our answer. Now notice that the y's are both the denominators, so that because we have the same denominator, we can cancel it. Let's look at this other example. Try to do it by yourself and then look at the explanation. So the first one is not ready. Okay, so we need common denominator, which is x, so I'm going to multiply times x, the top and the bottom. If I add that, then I'm going to have x plus 1 on the top with that denominator x. Now notice the 7 is 7 over 1, so I can put here 7 over 1. And again, I have now a fraction of fractions, so I can divide. So it's going to be 1 times x plus 1, and then on the bottom we're going to have 7x. Notice that in this case we cannot simplify, so that's all we can do, and that is our answer. The next one is very similar to the previous one. We have to first do the subtraction in the bottom, and then we can do the division. The top is ready. So if we do the denominator, then we have to multiply times x to have common denominator, which then will give us x minus 1 over x. Now notice we have the same denominator top and bottom, so we'll see that it cancels. But let's do the division. 1 times x is x, and then x times x minus 1. Those are the ones in the middle. Again, as I mentioned before, the x's cancel because they both are in the denominators, and the answer is going to be 1 over x minus 1. And that's it. Very, very simple. So remember, simplify first the top and the bottom so that you can have a fraction of fractions. And to do that, you need to do common denominator, because when we add or subtract fractions, we always need the same denominator. Let's do another one. Again, pause the video, try to do it by yourself, and then you can check. In this one, we have to actually simplify both of them because we have an addition in both the numerator and the denominator. So I need common denominator, which for the first one is b, so I have to multiply b on the top and on the bottom of that little fraction. So we'll have a plus b, which is what I have on top, over b, which is the common denominator. Over, and again, common denominator is b, so I multiply top and bottom, and it is x plus 4b over b. And notice again that now we have a fraction of fractions, so we can divide, and we're going to multiply the 2 on the outside, so we have b times a plus b, and then on the middle we have b times x plus 4b, and the b's cancel again, just like we talked about before. The b's cancel, and that is our answer. In our last example, they give us this kind of exercises again where we have a negative exponent in one of the letters. So the first thing we have to do is pass those things to the denominator. So remember, the x that is positive 1 is going to stay on the top, and the a to the negative 1 becomes our denominator. The same thing happens in the next one. The y that is positive stays on the top, and the b that has a negative 1 exponent goes to the denominator. And then on this one, we have 1 over x because we have a negative 1 exponent. And again, what we want to do, I'll just continue here, is have common denominator. So we're going to have to multiply by b here, the first one, and by a, the second one, so that we have denominator ab. So we have xb plus ya over ab, and all of that in 1 over x. Now we're going to divide, and when we divide, we multiply the outside, and then in the denominator, we multiply the ones in the middle. Now notice, the denominators are different in this case, so we cannot cancel here. That is our answer. These are very, very simple. You just have to be careful. Go do some practice, and I'll see you in the next video.